Hey, so I just finished watching Monsuno Mirrors that came on today, and I don't know, my voice is shaking, but I was crying towards the end, so that kinda happened. So it was just the most intense episode I have seen so far. It literally had me screaming at the television. My mom's probably gonna come up here any second and be like, "What were you yelling at?" So let's begin with this episode while it's still fresh on my mind. Chase wakes up in an apartment. It's so horror movie related. And there's a key and it says, "Go Chase, go to the statue." He's like, "Yeah, the statue, yeah. What statue?" So he leaves and he goes outside and the sky is green. There are earthquakes and the buildings are destroyed, so it's like, ooh, lovely vacation site. Nope. The world is apparently ending. And you see these guys, and they're covered in like this purple-black slime. And Chase sends out Locke, of course, and then the guy sends out a storm version of Locke, which is a clone. And Chase is like, holy crag, this is not good. And Locke gets his butt handed to him, which is always lovely to see, but whatever. And then the gooey thing grabs Chase, and Chase becomes a gooey zombie of death. Nothing is funny about this episode. Then we see Jinja, and as for horror movie stance, she's talking to herself, and she's like, "Where's is everyone?" And go to the statue, right, the statue. What statue? They're all like wondering what the fuck this statue is. Oh, I said the F word. Oh my god, I said the F word. Ignore that. Then Bayal, someone grabs her arm. God, this episode shook me up. This episode shook me up, man. Hang on. I mean, it's stupid that a cartoon shook me up, but this really did so bad. I thought it was the last episode already. Someone grabbed her shoulder, and she turns around, and it's Bayal. And she's so happy to see him, and Bayal's so happy to see her. This episode was like them flirting the whole time, if you couldn't notice. He's like, my favorite moment when they were talking, she's like, "Oh my god, Bayal, I'm so happy it's you," and I'm just, ah! And he's like, "I'm happy to see you too, Jinja. I'm so happy. So happy." Also, Bayal has grown a few inches, if you can't tell. I mean, he's almost as tall as Jinja now. Yay for them growth spurts. So she goes, "Bayal, I got this strange message, and it says, Jinja, go to the statue." And he goes, "Oh, I got a different message." And she's like, "Oh, what is it?" "Bayal, go to the statue." And she goes, "You're joking, right?" He's like, yes." She goes, "No, you're not." "No, I wasn't." And I mean, they kind of flirted back with this joke thing, and it was really cute. I don't know if it was flirting exactly, but you could tell Bayal was loving it, that he was actually talking to Jinja without going all weird, monkey, whatever. So they find Bryn too. Bryn and Dax fighting with, of course, an Eclipse version of Neo Quick Force, which looks so awesome. And wasn't it a Storm Boost? Yeah, a Storm Boost. And so Jinja and Bayal send out Charger and Glowblade, but you know, that doesn't work either. They all get their butts handed to them again. And then there's one part where the Storm Boost smiled. I don't know if you saw that, but the thing definitely smiled, and it was the creepiest thing. I was like, oh, it's toying with me. I have a Boost toy. What if it like comes up and it's like, smile, kill you when you're asleep? I know I shouldn't be thinking about stuff like that. They're on their cores. Locked. So, what happened after that? Well, the gooey thing got Dax. As per horror movie standard, the black guy. I'm sorry, Dax. You had to fit the stereotype of getting caught next. It's strange to see Chase get caught first, though. That was weird. Hopefully I called this episode Mirrors. I've been mixing up these names bad lately. This episode is Mirrors, if I didn't say it earlier. I was crying. Anyways, Then they run and they go into a sewer thing. Baal was going to close the lid, but then he decided not to. I'm surprised the gooey monsters didn't follow them down there. I would have totally followed it down there. Gooey possessed Rose. She'd be the smart one. Let's go follow after them down the hole. Nah. We're just going to go around the long way so they can get to the statue. I don't know, I made a face. You can't see the face. Unless I took a picture of it, but I'm not doing that. And they make it to the statue. And they put their keys in the thing. And a holograph of Charity comes up. And Charity's like, if you're reading this, or if you're seeing this, you can't read it. I'm dead. I'm like, what? Since when did freaking Charity die? This is intense. So his son's possessed, he's dead. Whatever happened to John? I guess he's dead too. Yay. So it's like, I made another failsafe device. I think this failsafe device is real and is somewhere. So, Platform 7, go. And Baal's like, no, we can't destroy the Monsuno. I'm like, ah, Baal, that's your first mistake. And it's kind of sad to see Baal struggle with this, but he knows it's the right thing to do. Kill all of them. So, they find the platform, and Bryn's like, I am pulling this trigger, my bro's a zombie, the world's about to explode from the Monsuno essence. That's another thing Charity said, the world was reaching its end. I'm going to pull that trigger and not look back. So he goes in there, and then Baal rushes in and grabs the trigger and runs off. Per Baal fashion. We can't do this! Fail. So, Bryn gets pissed, and he tackles Baal to the ground, and they start fighting fist to fist. When Bryn and Baal start fighting, the world is really ending. I mean, Baal is a man of peace. He keeps saying that, but I mean, he's like, Bryn goes, I will fight you over this. And then Baal said, okay, you're not going to win. I'm like, oh, hell. And there's going to be some monk fighting up in here. Well, Bryn isn't a monk. Monk kung fu going on. I don't know. And Jin's just like, stop fighting. And this whole time, you know, the little failsafe trigger's just rolling. And then Zombie Chase and Dax come out and they start fighting again. There's lots of gooey monsters now. And I mean, we see like a Forge glow blade, which is the most badass thing I've ever seen in my life. And an Eclipse Charger. I don't know what else there was. I can't remember what the Neo Quick Force was at this point in time. I think Storm this time. That would be the right thing to do. And I didn't know Glowblade could split himself apart. That was a new thing. At first I thought it was just the Forge Glowblade. Transformers, snakes in disguise, or something, I don't know. And, I've said I don't know like 100 times. Because you don't know what's going on. I mean, there was no explanation. I'm like, there better be an explanation at the end of this episode. And so, you know, Bryn gets his ass handed to him. He goes and he gets the fail-safe thingy. It looks like a core. But Chase, with his awesome rape face of death, grabs him and turns him. And I mean, that evil laugh, like, ha ha ha. I'm like, oh god, that's the creepiest thing, but it's so hot. If Chase was a villain, he'd be hot. I'm sorry. He'd be better if he was a villain. And then all the Chase fans went to my apartment and stabbed me in the face. Okay. And then Dax, he looks high. As per usual, Dax gets the crappy end of the stick. He can't look good as a villain. He even had an evil laugh too, but that didn't work out so well. I was like, okay, yeah, if Dax was a villain, I'd stay far away from him. Then Rose would be dating Bryn. I don't know. It's my only other option. Too many people like Baal. I'm not gonna, like, step on that. That's not my style. I'm such a pushover. And then I got off track and now I can't remember what I was doing. Well, he turned Bryn and his cores drop, his Neo Quick Force and that failsafe thingy. And then Jinja goes and gets it, but then the earth opens up underneath her. This is the part where I said no! Because I just experienced that with Iron Man 3, you know, if you've seen it, Pepper drops down into the fire. I did the same thing in the theater and my brother slapped me upside the head like, shh, we're trying to watch this movie. See, this is why we can't all watch something together. And, I was like, no! And Baal was like, no! And that agonized cry. I was like, like, literally, I was starting to cry for Baal. I was like, oh, God, you shouldn't have to go through this. You're too young. You're too innocent. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then Baal's crying. And then all of a sudden, Baal looks back and he has this look in his eye. And suddenly he uncans a can of whoop ass. He is like, Glowblade, do this and this and this and this and this, and Glowblade does it. And I mean, all them Monsuno just, he was mad. And then Jinja must have took some Himalayan climbing lessons because she came back. I was like, just like Pepper. Except, you know, I actually thought Pepper died. Well, I thought she died too. Never mind. And, she had the fail-safe device, and the Forge Glowblade picked her up, and she started screaming, and then Baal was like, holy Baal wouldn't cuss. He's like, no! So he takes the failsafe device, and he does pull the trigger. Even though this whole time he has been like, we can't do it, they're living things. He finally realized, hey, yeah, the world's ending, half my friends are zombies, a girl I actually like, have a crush on's in danger, and yeah. And then the world heals, and Baal, like, the Monsuno goes, and then Jinja falls, and Baal catches her, and she's like, nice save, Baal, and it was kind of cute. They had their little moment, and it was adorable. But then Glowblade, like, evaporated, and, like, Baal was standing, no, I'm sorry, he dropped to his knees, yep, in the middle of the essence, and he, like, touched it, and I was like, oh, Baal, and that's when I really started crying. Yeah. And then he, like, is sobbing, and Jinja comes up and wraps her arms around him. We don't know what happened to the other people. Yeah, fuck them. Just focus on Baal and Jinja. Dax and Bryn and Chase aren't important now. Well, there you go, guys. Shipping. Monk shipping. Well, people in the last video were like, does monk shipping win? I'm like, yes. It's like, how do you know? I'm like, I just know. I was like, you don't want spoilers, do you? And then it's all a hologram. Yep, it's all a hologram. Made by Jarity, that freaking sadistic man. I mean, it was all too real. It puts you under temporary amnesia so you forget. I'm like, Jarity, you're getting creepier. I mean, if you were evil goodness, you'd have the whole world in our hologram. You'd start the freaking Matrix, wouldn't you, you freaking sadistic man? Fix John. I'm gonna crack that whip, putting your freaking 12-year-old kids, I guess everyone's supposed to be 12, I don't know their ages, under amnesia and putting them in a hologram to think the world ends? I mean, Baal's probably scarred for life from that crap. I think everyone is. I think Bryn is too. Gooey monsters. And he's like, okay, now I'm gonna go make a real clone. No, you're not. You're gonna freaking fix John. Freaking flip a desk. That's me flipping a desk. And then the moment everyone was waiting for, Jinja's like, you were pretty heroic in there and this and that. And then she kisses, and Jinja, he goes, I didn't make the right choice, right, Jinja? And she's like, yes, yeah, you did. I can't talk today. She said, I don't know if you made the right choice, but you did at that moment. At least we're not all dead. Holographically dead, at least. And then she goes, oh, and by the way, this is for saving me. And saving. It's a hologram. She kissed Baal on the cheek. And Baal was like, like muttering an unintelligible sentence. And he, like, fell to the side, kind of, or turned away. I thought he fell, but he turned. And then Bryn fell over. And then Dax was like, what? That's, how easy is it to get a kiss around here? And she's like, oh, do you want one too? Like, just her voice. I'm like, oh, you're still toying with both of them, you little whore biscuit. And I'm going to put a really big cussing warning on this. My nerves were shaking. Let's just say that. And, well, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged Series said whore biscuit. Whatever. And, Bryn fell over too. I already said that. And Dax, she's like, oh, do you want one too? And Dax is like, no, I'm not a geezer. What? Sometimes I don't understand what Dax is saying sometimes. His dialect is so different. And then he like stomps away with his legs spread apart really wide in like a comedical fashion, I guess, to laugh. He looks at Chase, he's like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like, oh boy. He's still going to try to fight for Ginger even though it's a one contest. It's okay, Dax. It's okay. Just go cool down. Go take a cold shower or whatever you're supposed to do when you're mad. I don't know. Count to 10, punch a pillow. I don't know. Don't punch John Ace in the face. He's going to eat you. What are you looking at? It's like at the glass at the zoo. Can you imagine it? Dax going, "What are you looking at?" Punching the glass, and then John like, really close. Oh, I'd wet myself. Yeah. Oh, also, I didn't mention a part, and it was earlier, right after Ginger found Baal. No, that's the wrong thing. After Baal found Ginger, they go and they get a tourist map, and Baal showed her the tourist map, and she's like, "Oh my god, Baal, I love you." And then Baal just looks at her for a minute, and he's like, yes. And his eyes kind of like dilated a bit. I was like, aw, he doesn't know what to do. That's called hormones. Something you would have never experienced with Master A. At least I hope not. Nah, he's a good guy. Master A's a good guy. I really thought the end of the world was happening in this one. It kind of freaked me out. Is there anything else to say besides I'm surprised that Glowblade could split apart, that evil Chase is sexy? No, I think that's it. All in all, it was a very intense episode, and I hope freaking Jarity's happy. You scarred your team for life right there, dude. He's like Master Kakashi, but like more sadistic. I'm still shaking. Yeah, I'm shaking over a cartoon. Deal with it. Alright, I was gonna do a review for Bright too, but I don't know if I can handle it right now. I'll do it later. Hopefully when no one's in the house. So, bye.